If you want to start spontaneously jamming with people on songs you've never even heard before, start learning your favorite bass lines or melodies just by listening to them, and finally ditching the tabs or sheet music and YouTube covers once and for all, stick around, I'll show you how to get there. Hi, I'm Luke from Become a Bassist, and in this bass lesson I'm going to show you how to get started playing by ear. Welcome to Become a Bassist, where it's all about insanely practical, no BS bass lessons so you can play better bass, have more fun, and become the best bassist that you know you can be. I'm super excited today because we're talking about one of my favorite subjects, playing by ear. Now, a lot of the time, when I talk to people about playing by ear, they think it's impossible. That's totally understandable. They may have tried it before, but it hasn't stuck. They may have been told when they were younger that they didn't have a good ear for music. And they may have even believed it, and that is super sad, but it is okay. Today I want to show you that it's not only possible to play by ear, but it's inevitable with the right approach. It might take a while before you're, learning songs in a single listen or jumping in instantly at a jam session, but like I said, with this approach, you will get there. It's just a matter of practicing the right things in the right way. Now, playing by ear is a huge topic and not something that we can, completely cover in just one video. That's why all we're doing today is getting started playing by ear, taking our very first step. And to do that, you need to use your secret weapon in the battle to play by ear, the one skill that makes this whole playing by ear thing possible, and that is matching pitch with your voice. Now, I can already hear you yelling at me through the screen, but Luke, I'm not a singer. First of all, calm your farm, it's fine. You don't have to be a great singer to play by ear. You don't have to be like as smooth as Frank Sinatra or as flashy as Beyonce. You don't even have to be a very good singer. All you have to do is be able to match pitch with your voice. That means you hear a note, and you can recreate that note with your voice. It doesn't even need to be a pretty voice. That's totally fine. It'll still work. Even if you're not, 100% in tune 100% of the time. That's all you're doing. Hearing and singing. If you can hum it, you can figure it out. And if you can figure it out, that means you can play it by ear. But it starts with that skill, matching pitch with your voice. So step one is to do exactly that. Now we're going to play notes up around the 12th fret on the G string and try and match those with our voice. Now doing this is going to be way easier than kind of like doing the low notes on your bass down here, like yeah, so up here near around the 12th fret on the G string, you'll play a note. Let's try this one and try and sing that note. Just like that. Now if your voice naturally sits a bit lower or a bit higher, definitely play around and see where's most comfortable. You might end up going down here. Lou, I have a deep voice down here. Yeah, you're going to try and sing that note. Or your voice might sit up a bit higher, so you can go up here, lang up here and sing up here, and that's totally fine. Wherever you're most comfortable is where you should, start doing this kind of exercise. Eventually though, you are going to want to be able to do this process with, the lowest notes on your bass as well though, right? If you want to learn how to hear bass lines super easily so they just kind of jump right out at you, I do have a video that you're going to love. It's called How to Hear Any Bass Line Without Straining to Hear the Notes. Now this one isn't public, but if you head to the link in the description, fill out the form on that page, I'll send it to you 100% free, or you can click on the card in the top right corner here. It's going to help you, hear bass lines and make sure you can do this whole process with the lower notes on your bass. Right now though, the point is to take as much time as you need here, try to match those pitches. Da, 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 da. Yeah, you want to really match the sounds you hear with your voice and do it until you're reasonably comfortable. The next step is to reverse that process. It's a little bit trickier, but it is pretty fun. So you sing a note and then try and find that note on your bass. So I might sing this note, I might sing that, and see if I can find it on my bass. Just play a random note. Let's see if it's this note. Okay, so I played that note. Now you do have a small chance of nailing it first time, but if not, the note you played is going to either be higher or lower than the note you sang, right? So then you just ask yourself, is that note higher or lower than my target note? In this case, this was my target note and this is what I played. So is this note that I played higher or lower? So sing both of them. The target note and the note I played. Is this note higher or lower? It's definitely higher, right? target note, the note I played. I have to kind of scoop up with my voice to get from the target note to where I was. So all that means is bringing the note I played down. So let's try bringing it down fret by fret. So target note, and moving the other note down a fret. Okay, so that's still too high, right? This is the note that I'm aiming for, and this is the note that I'm singing. Yep. So let's bring it down one more. Target note. Oh, that's crunchy. Let's bring it down one more fret. Target note. Ah, there we go. That's it. Hear how they're the same note. Da, da. This is perfect. Again, play around with this idea until you're pretty comfortable singing some notes and then finding them on your bass. So another quick example, you might sing, blah, that note, what is that note? And that's too low. There it is. So that was the note that we sang, and then we played it. Turns out it was an A. Just like that. The next step, step 3, is to take like a little melody or something that you know really well and try and figure it out by ear. Now you can do this with anything, but it's going to be easier if the melody is really, really well defined and easy enough to play. Think things like nursery rhymes, Christmas carols, even national anthems are good for this because you'll already know them pretty well and there's no uncertainty in the melody and they're usually pretty easy. Now this is going to be pretty lame. We're going to be playing Christmas carols or like nursery rhymes. It's not the most glamorous stuff, but it's going to be a lot easier than trying to do like a rush bass line or something that's a lot more complicated. You want to start pretty easy and build up to that stuff. You will get there eventually, but start simple. For us, let's play Mary Had a Little Lamb, the nursery rhyme, not the Stevie Ray Vaughan song. Sorry, guys. So the melody goes like this. It goes, Mary had a little lamb, da 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 da. I'm sure you know this, right? So let's just start on any old note. Da, that's our starting note. So let's find that note on our bass, like we did in the last step. Da. Okay, so we started there. Da. So that's our starting note. And our starting note is, in this case, it's an E. So from here, where do we go? Do we go up? Do we go down? Does the note stay the same? Those are really our only options. So da, 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 da. So that's our first note. Is the second note higher than the first, or is it lower, or is it the same? Da, da. It's lower, right? Da. We have to fall from that first note to get to the second. So how far? Let's find out. Let's try going fret by fret. Da, da. Let's go one fret down. Oh, that's not quite right. That's definitely not right. What about going 2 frets down? Da, da. Okay, that's it. So our first 2 notes are this. Da, da, Mary. Just like that. Next, you just repeat the process with the rest of the notes. You've got your starting point, then you ask yourself, is this next note lower, higher, or does it stay the same? And then you can figure out by how much. So our third note of the melody is da 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 da. Is the third note higher or lower? It's definitely lower again, right? So let's see how much lower. Da da da. Oh, da. It's definitely not that. Let's try 2 frets down from this second note. Da da da. Ah, there it is. Yep, that's definitely it. So that's our first 3 notes. Da da da. Mary had. Now at this point, we're not worried about chord progressions or bass lines or anything else. You don't even need to necessarily know the names of the notes you're playing and everything like that. We're just focused on figuring out that melody. Da, da, da. The more you do it, the quicker this will get, and you'll actually start to hear when notes get repeated or reused. So for example, in this melody, da, 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 the first 3 notes go down, da, 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 but if you listen carefully, you hear that the next 2 notes are the same ones we just heard, but in reverse order. Da, 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 da. Mary had a lamb. And then this note is repeated. Till lamb. Hear how we just reused the same notes? Now when you realize this kind of stuff, things can get really quick for you when you're learning by ear. You'll realize that most of this melody is just those same 3 notes. There's only one place where we get a different note in the melody. Da 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 da. Now, is that note higher or lower than this note? It's higher up, right? We're kind of scooping up into it. Da, 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 ba. Yeah? So how much higher is it? Again, let's try one fret. Da, 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 da. No, da, da, da. Okay, let's try 2 frets. Da, 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 da. Oh, da. That's not it. So let's try 3 frets. Da, 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 da. 3 frets up from this note. Ah, that's it. That's all the notes in this melody, which means you can play the whole thing. Now, this is kind of like, drawing like a little outline and just filling in the rest, but that's basically what you're doing. That's the whole process. Now, this is very simple, but it is an incredibly important first step if you want to play by ear, jam with other people, learn chord progressions or bass lines by ear, and permanently say goodbye to like dodgy tab sites forever. Now, later on down the road, you can start applying this method to everything else like bass lines, riffs, fills, licks, chord progressions, everything you can think of, but it all starts with matching pitches with your voice. Da, 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 just like that. The next step is being able to put on your favorite recordings and just learn the bass lines just by listening, right? But to do that, you need to be able to match pitches for the lower notes on your bass, which are, probably outside the range of your voice. And if you want to do that, I have the perfect thing for you. It's a video from my course, Level Up Your Ear, and it's called How to Hear Any Bass Line Without Straining to Hear the Notes. You can check it out by going right here, filling out the form on that page under the video, and I'll send it to you absolutely free. You can use it to get further towards finally playing everything you hear by ear, whether that's bass lines, solos, fills, riffs, licks. That video will help, so I will see you in there.